Live and Panhandle strong together. This is News 13 this weekend at 10.
Good evening and thanks for joining us on News 13 this weekend at 10. I'm Madeline Bierster. Tess Rowland has the evening off. We begin tonight with new details on the late night shooting in Jackson County that happened just yesterday. One man died after he was shot in the chest at a local restaurant, and now officials believe they have a suspect in this homicide. The Graceville Police Department confirmed that the man died after a shooting at Hardee's around 5:30 last night. When they arrived at the scene, they discovered an African-American male who apparently died of a single gunshot wound to the chest. Officials now say they do have a person of interest that they're attempting to contact and speak with. They're also asking for the public's help. If anyone has any information about this shooting that took place at the Hardee's in Graceville, they're urged to contact the Jackson County Sheriff's Office. Staying in Jackson County, after skeletal remains were found in a backyard in Alfred on Wednesday, officials believe they have now identified the human remains. On Wednesday, one Jackson County man was clearing a wooded area of his property and discovered human skeletal remains. Sheriff's Office isn't releasing a lot more details or a specific location because they don't want to compromise their investigation. However, the following day on Thursday, the Sheriff's Office continued to search that property and found another additional skeletal remains scattered throughout the woods. Missing persons cases have led investigators to a potential identity, but have not yet confirmed who the remains belong to. The investigation is ongoing, and we will provide any updates that become available. A local church is finally making progress on their rebuilding after 2 years of Hurricane Michael destroying their building. After going through Michael and now the pandemic, the church has lost a lot of members in this process. News 13's Jessica Ayers tells us how they're moving forward with rebuilding amidst all of these obstacles.
For 25 years, Harvest Worship Center members prayed, sang, and worshiped inside their 11,000 square foot sanctuary until Hurricane Michael.
We had used this building for many, many hurricanes.
Pastor John Ramsey, senior pastor of Harvest Worship Center, says it was fitting for their place of worship to shelter them during the storm because it originated as a shelter.
Before they built Tommy Smith Elementary, this was the Red Cross Hurricane Shelter for many storms, and we rode them out fine.
It was massive and built to last, but it was still no match for a Cat 5 destroyer.
When I began to see daylight come through the corners, I knew that part of the building had racked.
After noticing the light, Ramsey, his family, and 20 others ran to the safest place they could find.
We hid in these little holes under the platform, about 10 or 12 people on each side, and we waited out the storm, and thankfully the building, even though it suffered significant damage, it sheltered us from one more storm, and we're thankful for that.
But since Michael, it sat empty, damaged, and waiting to be torn down. Now, Ramsey says he's excited to move into the next phase of rebuilding.
And that a demo will be finished within the next 30 days or so, and then we start the process of planning and permitting, which we're anticipating about 6 months on that, and then a year to build.
The church has insurance, but like most, wind damage was not covered. Ramsey is thankful for a FEMA grant that will cover a lot of the costs.
So you still have to come up with a lot of it yourself, and that's where we need a lot of help.
In total, the church will need around $700,000 to meet their budget. Anyone who wants to donate can head to harvestchurchpanamacity.com or contact Ramsey through Facebook. In Panama City, Jessica Ayers, News 13, Panhandle Strong.
It seems as though Santa Claus has a South Pole as well. The South Walton Fire District has partnered with the Care and Share organization for the past 20 years, hosting the Angel Tree Project. News 13's Alexia Teropoulos tells us how the community is helping Santa find gifts.
It's as if Santa Claus has a workshop, but here in the South. Many community members have been able to bring toys right here to the South Walton Fire District in order to help out their community. For many Walton residents, the Angel Tree has become a holiday tradition, just as it has for Belle Jackson and her family.
I've been doing it all my life.
The Angel Tree is comprised of names ranging from newborns to those nearing 16 or 17 years old, from both North and South Walton.
We love helping the community, and we play a big part during Christmas. Or we like to think that we play a big part during Christmas for a lot of these kids that otherwise may not have a Christmas.
This year was different for Jackson and her family.
This year, Belle was going through the cards, and she goes, "Mom, look at this one." It says that the 7-month-old baby outgrew its bassinet.
And we saw one that wanted a crib and a mattress, and we did not think that she would have to wait till Christmas to have a crib and a mattress.
So Jackson and her mom went that same day to buy a crib. Sammy Sanchez, the fire marshal with South Walton Fire District, says this year they received over 300 names, and they're almost out.
The folks that continue to come back every year because it's now their tradition, and we certainly appreciate the folks that it's new to them and are helping us support this and provide for children of Walton County.
For the Jackson family, the angel tree brings joy.
To show our children that, Santa always is there, but some parents don't have funds and means to provide gifts for him, so that's where we come in.
Sanchez says they anticipate doing the angel tree for years to come. The Jackson family says that they will continue to do this every year just to bring smiles to children's faces all across Walton County. In Walton County, Alex Diatropoulos, News 13, Panhandle Strong.
South Walton Fire District has just finished their summer lifeguarding season, but they are already preparing for what's ahead. South Walton Fire District is looking to hire about 30 new guards come March. The beach safety director with South Walton Fire District, David Vaughn, says there's not much of an off-season anymore, so they need to hire as soon as possible. Currently, there are 5 lifeguards a day, and they are rotated around, all monitoring beaches in Walton County. Vaughn said if you are interested or know of anyone that might be interested, there is an in-house training as well as academies to prepare potential guards for all safety scenarios.
Specific skill set. We need you to be able to, it's a physically demanding. You got to be able to swim. So we're reaching out to people now saying, think about it. Come on, we're already training. We're already holding academies. We do individualized training. So if you have any interest in having one of the greatest jobs in the world, come work on the beach, get to talk to people, keep people safe. But we're hiring now for March.
If you want to learn more about this position or other open positions with South Walton Fire District, you can visit our website, mypanhandle.com, for more information. Bay District Schools is looking to give the gift of reading to young readers. The school district is collecting any new or gently used books to give to elementary school classrooms across Bay County. This is part of the Alignment Bay County Book Drive. People are able to drop off their books at the Nelson Building on Balboa Avenue up until December the 4th. Even in the midst of the pandemic, family has remained the most important part of people's daily lives. So much so that one mom has donated her kidney to her son with special needs. As Next Star Nation's Anna Marie McAllister shows us, their family is now advocating for others to become kidney donors as well.
Joyful, mischievous, playful. He really is. He's the light of our family.
He gives the best hugs that you would ever want. He just has this awesome smile. He smiles with his whole face. It's just his eyes, everything. It's a beautiful thing.
The Molinskis are describing their beloved son, John David. This adorable 7-year-old boy was diagnosed with Down syndrome and kidney disease when he was in his mother's womb. Since then, his parents and doctors have kept a close eye on his kidney function.
We knew at some point he was going to need a transplant. It wasn't if, it was when.
So in the last 7 years, Dr. Crystal Molinsky, a dermatologist, opened up her own practice while her husband John became a stay-at-home dad, caring for John David, his twin sister Charlotte, and their 11-year-old daughter Audrey. They were happy, life was good, but then John David's health took a left turn.
Recently he became ill to the point that dialysis was going to be something that he would need.
Dr. Crystal Molinsky found out she was a positive match to be her son's donor, and without skipping a beat, made plans for the operation at the Children's Hospital of New Orleans. That surgery happening just 4 days ago on November 17th.
I feel like I was born to be his mother so that I could give him his kidney.
Now, John David is recovering in the ICU while his mom is staying across the street at the Hoggs House Family Center. The Molinskis say this surgery will change their family's lives for the better and hope that others will consider organ donation in the future.
If more people donated their kidneys, we could completely eliminate the transplant list. What it did for him, the way it changed his life, it's worth it.
And when it comes to John David's Down syndrome, she wants people to know it's not a burden, it's a gift.
Children with Down syndrome just have this way of bringing joy to other people. I think everyone needs to know someone in their life with Down syndrome because it will absolutely enrich your life.
Coming up, free drive-through COVID-19 testing is coming to Jackson County residents. Find out where it's taking place.
More significant rain chances are finally in the forecast, but it times out around Thanksgiving. Check out when next.
You're watching News 13 with Tess Rowland, sports with Emma Stamps, and First Alert meteorologist Melissa Thomas.
Jackson County will now be offering free drive-through COVID-19 testing to its residents on Monday and Tuesday. The Florida Department of Emergency Management will be providing the testing at the Jackson County Health Department in Marianna. The testing will take place both Monday and Tuesday from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. To be tested, people need to bring a valid photo ID, and anyone under the age of 18 has to be accompanied by a parent or guardian. For that exact address, go to our website, mypanhandle.com. While the pandemic has made quite the impact on the economy and caused unemployment for many. That being said, many politicians are urging lawmakers to act fast on another COVID relief package. Washington correspondent Morgan Wright reports how time is of the essence.
It's just going to add to the pain.
Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen says it's time for Congress to act to prevent unemployment benefits from expiring on December 31st.
The CARES Act and others provided unemployment insurance for people who are not part of our traditional unemployment system. They're covered now. After December 31st, they won't be covered anymore.
Van Hollen says not passing a new relief bill could be disastrous.
There are about 14 million Americans that are currently protected by these provisions.
You know, we desperately need to get, at the very least, those unemployment benefits extended.
Connecticut Senator Chris Murphy says many businesses won't be ready to rehire workers anytime soon. In addition, the federal moratorium on evictions also goes away, as well as options to defer student loan payments, placing more financial burdens on Americans.
Folks all across the state are right now being evicted from their homes. We're obviously having to start shutdowns again. which means that retail businesses are going to be in trouble. I mean, we have a real crisis on our hands.
We must act now. We are in session.
House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy urged House Speaker Nancy Pelosi to compromise on a deal.
I would think after the politics that she played and the election being over, that she'd now put the American public first. She still seems to be in the same position.
Reporting in Washington, I'm Morgan Wright.
Now, your First Alert Storm Team forecast with meteorologist Melissa Thomas.
Perry and Young Tower Cam shows that much of the cloud coverage we had around sunset has now cleared for a mostly clear sky across Panama City and Panama City Beach on the Perry and Young Tower Cam. Temperatures are 66 degrees, north-northwest wind 6 miles per hour and a dew point of 58. And across the Viper Live radar shows that while there were some very light showers in the Gulf, across the Panhandle we are stable and dry. No rain tonight, no rain tomorrow, even though there's a cold front rolling over tonight into tomorrow morning. We stay dry. The temperatures are 69 in Apalachicola, 61 in Bluntstown, 64 in Mariana, as well as Tepinac Springs, and 66 in Panama City. We're going to continue to cool down by a little bit, not that much, considering there is a dry cold front rolling over right now into the mid 50s for your inland areas, upper 50s, lower 60s along the coast, a little warmer. We'll keep these mostly clear skies, calm winds, and if anything at all, those winds picking up to from the north around 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow, we keep those north winds 5 to 10 miles per hour, and that's going to make for a very clear and sunny day. The little bit of effects we're going to have from this dry cold front being that we're slightly cooler. Instead of highs in the mid to upper 70s, we have highs in the low to mid 70s, so ever so slightly cooler. Our beach forecast shows those same northerly winds around 10 miles per hour out along the beach will keep those wave heights approximately a foot, so likely setting up for a gorgeous view along the Gulf and those flags flying yellow. Your boating forecast is a little more roughed up with those north winds across the Gulf getting up to 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 3 feet, your bays of moderate chop, and our sunrise still happening a little bit later each morning at 6:15 a.m. and our sunset a little earlier in the evening, 4:43 p.m. tomorrow. So keep your eyes on the skies for a nice sunset pretty early in the evening. Now, this dry cold front that we have right now, most of that unsettled weather to our northeast, rolls over, leaving us no rain, slightly cooler temperatures tomorrow. We're still mild when it comes to these afternoon highs in November. This area of high pressure does take into control for your Monday afternoon rain-free, sunshiny skies. We keep that through Tuesday. Beautiful skies, mild temperatures. And then there is this cold front setting up, unfortunately, Wednesday at 5 a.m. And there is a little bit of good news from the trend that I've been noticing throughout the past couple of days and into this evening is here is the unsettled weather associated with that. We move across the day, Wednesday afternoon. There is the showers and thunderstorm activity associated with this cold front. We're likely not going to escape the rain and a rumble of thunder or two with this cold front Wednesday afternoon throughout Wednesday evening. And then as it passes over, it'll lift to the north. Thursday afternoon, we're going to keep possibly those lingering showers. The hope is that most of the unsettled weather will taper off in the morning time, leaving us nicer weather for Thanksgiving afternoon and any outside festivities. And then Friday afternoon, we can see another possibly more potent cold front setting up to deliver showers and a rumble of thunder across the weekend, but then possibly even cooler temperatures that we've seen all week, or we haven't seen all season. We'll likely see much cooler temperatures by the start of next week. And there is our coastal week ahead. We have clear skies for the next couple of days, unseasonably warm temperatures across the week ahead. Rumble of thunder Wednesday into Thursday. A couple storms could get strong, but severe threat is low overall. And then leading into early next week across the weekend, setting up to be probably the coldest temperatures we have seen all season.
Wow, Melissa, well, you got to promise me that it's not going to rain on Thanksgiving.
I cannot promise that, but I can promise hope that all of the unsettled weather tapers off in the morning time, leaving us good news for the afternoon time and Thanksgiving activities. Okay,
you got to make it happen. All right, thanks, Melissa. Tonight, Clemson's Dabo Swinney speaking about yesterday's postponed game with the Seminoles.
Hear what the head coach had to say about Florida State's administration. That and more next in sports.
Time now for News 13 Sports with Emma Stamps.
Welcome back, everyone. Tonight, Dabo Swinney speaking out about yesterday's postponed game between the Noles and Tigers. The game called off just hours before kickoff in Tallahassee. In a teleconference tonight, Swinney said Clemson followed all required protocol when traveling with the player who had shown prior symptoms but did not receive a positive COVID-19 test until the team arrived in Tallahassee. Swinney saying the game was not canceled because of COVID. COVID was an excuse to cancel the game, adding that to him, Florida State's administration forfeited the game. He said this was not the first time a situation like this has occurred this season and that no previous games were impacted, using Trevor Lawrence's positive test after he practiced throughout the week with the Tigers as an example. And now to the high school football field. South Walton was knocked out of the Class 4A state playoffs on Friday after a loss to Mariana, but the Seahawks still had a good season despite the pandemic, under the leadership of seniors like Levin Magruder. He's our Scholar Athlete of the Week, sponsored by Perry & Young.
He's just an all-around, student, and that's what you want out of these kids. You hope that by the time they leave you, they're not just good athletes, but they're good citizens and all-around people.
South Walton's Levin Magruder has been the Seahawks starting center for the past 3 seasons.
Leads our whole offensive line. He's got to be an intelligent kid because he has to call out fronts, make sure that our protections are correct, and it just leads to the type of person that he is.
Magruder said it hasn't always been easy as a senior leader during this unpredictable season, but he just tried to consistently be there for his team.
I always try to lead by example. I always try to step up to a challenge that's put in my face. I never want to back down from anything. A lot of guys will talk a lot and then not perform on the field. I always try to make sure I'm doing my part and making sure that I'm doing everything I can to show everybody what needs to be done.
He's involved on campus too, a member of clubs such as the National Honor Society and a percussionist in the school's concert band.
This year's been a little bit different. We can't really do as much as we would like to do, but hopefully we can get some more concerts going soon. My sister's actually a part of it now, and I'm really excited for all that kind of stuff.
The Scholar Athlete has a 3.8 GPA as a dual enrolled student. He hopes to study business or marketing and attend UCF or FSU, but he's sure to be missed by the Seahawks.
If you look at him, he's not a big kid, but the way he beats people is, with his intelligence and with his technique. So it's been an added benefit for us for 4 years. I've enjoyed coaching him.
If you have a senior you would like to nominate to be our Scholar Athlete of the Week, you can do so on mypanhandle.com. Just click on that sports tab. 3 area high school football teams still remain on the hunt for their respective state championship titles. One of those, the Vernon Yellow Jackets. It's from their region semifinal game against Northview we find our Play of the Week, sponsored by Southern Chevrolet Dealers. In the third quarter, Vernon leads 28-13. Chiefs looking to cut that lead. Caden Odom launches it downfield right to the guys in white. EJ Redis brings it down with one hand, secures it after it bounces off him. Slowed it down for you here. What an incredible interception by the junior. Vernon goes on to win this one 34-19. They move on to the region finals, while they'll look to end Baker's perfect season. And now to the NFL. Joe Burrow ruling himself out for the remainder of the season after an injury tonight in the Bengals game against Washington. The first overall pick in the 2020 draft suffered a left knee injury in the third quarter after he was sandwiched by 2 Washington defenders. This afternoon, Burrow sent out a tweet saying, "Thanks for all the love. Can't get rid of me that easy. See you next year." He was on pace to become the first rookie in league history to have 6 300-yard passing games in his first 10 appearances. Second-year quarterback Ryan Finley replaced Burrow. Cincinnati lost the game 20-9. So Maddie, football today. And high school football, like I mentioned, coming to an end. We had our last Friday Night Fever show Friday. I know you were one of the ones that helped us out every week, going out to those games to shoot them for us. And I know you always enjoy getting to cover those high school games for us.
Yeah, I absolutely did. I can definitely say that I almost got knocked over a couple times by those referees, but definitely a good time. Thanks, Emma. Coming up this weekend, family and friends of a Korean War veteran celebrated his 90th birthday. We'll show you how they honored him on his special day. Law Call is coming up right after this newscast. Attorney Chris Young is in now with a preview. Chris?
Hey, thanks, Madeline. Tonight we're talking about crime and punishment. If you've got a legal question pertaining to anything regarding an accident or an arrest or a crime, criminal justice system, give us a call, 392-1544. Back to you. Thanks.
Thanks, Chris. This weekend, family and friends celebrated a very special birthday for a Korean War veteran. Korean War veteran Bill Barnhouse Sr. celebrated his 90th birthday. However, the party was canceled due to the recent COVID-19 spike. Bill's daughter organized a special surprise. He beamed with pride as dozens of family and friends drove by honking their horns inside cars decorated with birthday signs and balloons. We also want to say happy birthday, Bill, and thank you for your service.
Absolutely. Happy birthday and thank you for your service. That is good for him. Great way to celebrate as well. Now we have a sunshine across the next couple of days. We have the unsettled weather with a couple rumbles of thunder possible. Severe threat is low, and hopefully the unsettled weather tapers off Thursday morning, leaving us good news for your Thursday afternoon. If you have any outside activities planned for your Thanksgiving, hopefully that unsettled weather tapers off, and then possibly even stronger cold front setting up for next weekend. Back to you, Madeline.
All right, thank you so much, Melissa. Thanks for having us in for news tonight on News 13 at 10. We will see you guys on Monday morning. Have a good night.